Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final session of the 3-day program of Jio Heartfulness, Khayaal Rakhna. Hope you are having a great day. As we have gone through the past 2 days, we have gone through how to deal with unprecedented change, how we are looking at our circle of concern, what we can influence, how we can control ourselves and the events around us. And then we went through some of the techniques of centering and meditation. We also looked at some of the models where we talked about between the stimulus and response, we have a freedom to choose. So in the final session, we have our esteemed speakers and esteemed heartfulness experts who will be taking us through a combination of exercises and reflection sessions. So without more ado, I will wanting to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Ajay Lula. Ajay is the heads the human resources and finance operations for Jio one of our group companies. Now, over to you, Ajay, and look forward for your message. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Morning, everybody. Pleasure to be a part of this initiative. And I think like it's been going on for the last couple of days, very inspirational, very thoughtful, and something that I have very closely also experienced overall, I think, in this new normal. Uh, the way things are, particularly in our surroundings right now. There are two versions of how I would really describe this. I think one version is the one that basically is there on all the other channels that you really don't want to see, and talk about things that everything is going to come through in a particular shape, format, etc. All of that stuff, and then there are more angles to it. But the other one is the reality and the more practical version of it, in which all of us, I think, are currently um, engrossed into either it's work or how are you working from home, or how are you coping up, and that's the reality version that we all go through. And I think I consciously have chosen to probably pick that one up and speak about that. We can go hours and hours talking about what the government could have done better, or what our companies could have done better, or how we could have managed this better. But I think every situation in life, if we had to go back and do this again, you'd always want to do it better, or you always have a better way to do it. Purely because, sure, you've had a chance to go see the result, and now you're like, oh, I don't like this. I could have done this better. And but it's life. It's not a game. It's not like you get multiple chances to keep doing stuff, right? So I think whatever decision anybody's made in terms of it is what it is. That's the reality that we all are in, and we consciously need to move ahead on that one. uh, Talking about consciousness, when this whole pandemic piece actually started, uh, we at Haptic used to, prior to that, already have certain work from home principles, guidelines. We'd have a couple of our teams already working from home. So technically, it just didn't hit us so much at that point of time. We basically called our entire team. The way we normally used to address everybody is get everybody together into a central section of the office, uh, announce that, hey, this is getting a little serious. Let's go back and work from home. And it was as simple as that. And when we made this decision, our thought process was, क्या होगा? एक हफ्ता होगा, 2 हफ्ता. We'll do it for probably a 1 week or 2 week thing, maximum 15, 30 days, right? We come back. And nobody imagined, or nobody thought at that point of time, that the whole world would shut down, you know, and how things will just suddenly happen. For us, most of our teams were used to working from home, so it didn't impact us so much. Practically, my teams, which are the most support functions, we had the initial hiccups and all of that stuff. But technically, we had the concept very much laid out in mind. So I think when we onboarded this journey, we were quite okay. What suddenly started happening was that the house that we all built, or the house where we all stay and put so much of effort, I felt the best thing about the pandemic is that people got a chance to enjoy that house. Because all this while, what you've done is you've been earning money, you've been doing everything towards the house, but you've never lived in it. You're spending so much time outside into it and all of that stuff. But most importantly, I think this is the time where you've actually got to live in it. And that's the whole beauty of what I realized. Um, as for me, if you ask me, what is this whole new normal about? And the way I look at it is that it's a chance that we've been given to go back and manage our time better. It's a chance we've been given to utilize the saved travel time that we had. It's about cultivating new hobbies. It's about staying in touch more virtually with your teams. It's about picking up the phone more often. It's about spending more time with family, with loved ones, with everyone. I have started picking up the phone a lot more often with my family members than I used to do earlier. The concern, the care, obviously, just and the conversations aren't very long. They aren't those hourly conversations. It's literally a 30-second conversation. Is all okay? All okay. And they're all okay is what we all want to hear, and that's what it is. And I think in my way of dealing with the whole thing has been that let's learn to accept and adapt to the new normal. It's not about trying to fight it, trying to win it, and doing all of that stuff. It's not something that is only within your own household premises. It's a global thing right now, and I think we all need to learn to live with it like how we are doing it otherwise, right? But in return, I think a couple of great things that I really got out of this was I've learned how much I really want from social media. I could get a whole bunch of things in terms of numbers, in terms of queries, in terms of things that are, oh, this is not working, oh, that is not working, and today the government has not done this, and then this happened in this hospital. I don't want to know. I want to know really, I just want to be alert. I want to keep track of what's really happening. And that's really all that I want. I don't want anything else, right? I don't want anything at all. But what I've also got is I've got clearer skies, I've got more fresh air, I've got less pollution all around. And to be honest with you, uh, I've really got my love for music back. You know, there was a time when I used to listen to a lot of music, and then there was no time at all. But now, with all that saved time, uh, I've gone back and been able to listen to a lot of music. I've been able to go back and spend more time on that. We as a family, I think and honestly, kudos to my wife who basically started off with this whole thing. Of what we started doing was very clearly we started doing something which we call as uh, just chai pe charcha kind of a thing. So there is this concept of where really, no matter what I have to have my evening tea with my family, and that's become the norm. You can't miss the chai pe charcha. And I don't discuss work there, but I just discuss more about what's happening outside the premises of now my new office, right? Uh, and it's a good habit because then there is so much things that I've learned and so many things that I've started appreciating at home that used to happen in my absence that I never realized. And I think how we can manage things better is something also that I've learned. I think one of the good things of this part also is the fact that I've learned to be a lot more disciplined because all of this is only possible when you are really disciplined, you know, and you really want to give time exactly to what are the things that really matter. Um, One of the parts that also came out was about the fact that I uh, I used to at one point of time practice meditation, and I think I lost the track of it quite some time back. Uh, and then I did consciously go back and also blame work for it. The idea was not work, or the person to blame was not work. The person to blame was me because I wasn't disciplined enough in terms of going back and doing it. And I never realized that. But I did during this pandemic. I think for me, very honestly, meditation isn't about becoming a different person, a new person, or even a better person. It's simply about training in awareness, getting a healthy sense of perspectives, uh, where I'm not trying to turn off my thoughts or feelings. I'm just observing them, but I'm doing them without a particular judgment. And that's what really I started feeling about quite a few things. It's basically overall in my head, it's about a technique that uses uh, focusing on a particular object, thought, or activity, and then effectively how we train ourselves to get that right attention and awareness and achieve a more clearer picture mentally and emotionally, be more calm, stable, is what effectively is what I want to really get out of meditation, and that's what really helps or works for me. I think another very great thing that actually has uh, come out of the whole pandemic is uh, I've cultivated new hobbies. Uh, I I was, in my opinion, I used to cook the best Maggie over here. You know, so Maggie to हर कोई बना रहा है. I used to make the best one, but I think now I really can cook. I can cook a whole meal now. I mean, I've actually paid a lot of time, attention, learned the details of what happens when you put salt, what happens when you put onions, what happens when you put tomatoes, how do they react, why would you do it in a particular sequence, and I've spent time on learning that. Uh, I follow a lot of cooks, I follow a lot of recipes, and I practice a lot of it, and it's reached a point of where the family is now asking me, "Acha, weekend पे क्या हो रहा है? मतलब, what's new?" You know? And there was once when I did something, and there was like, "Are you're repeating things now? It's just come. You just did it a few weeks back. What's wrong?" So that's one of the greatest, I think, things that I always wanted to do. Uh, about me personally, individually, I think on a physical appearance perspective, I've managed to get a good 20-25 minute walk done because I'm on calls. Sure, my job does involve being on calls. But the way I've scheduled my calendar is in the evening, if I have to pick up the phone and talk to somebody, like if I have to do a catch up or something, I do it on the phone and I'm walking. So I go down, I don't go to a fancy park, I don't go to a fancy gym. I go down within my own building, the society that you've paid for, everything that you've done. I utilize that. I just circle around the building. It's an evening time, the sun's not hitting you, you're absolutely fine. So I've started building on those things. You know, I'm going to read out something that coincidentally just came to me through something. There's an old text by Osho which is unbelievable of how exactly he predicted the whole situation. Somebody asked him around about a good 40 years ago about how to avoid the pandemic. This was during when AIDS was just surging up all over the place. And he said, "You're asking the wrong question. The right question is to how to avoid the fear of dying caused by the pandemic. Because it's very easy to avoid the virus, and there are so many instructions, and everybody is a part of all the WhatsApp groups of what can go wrong to you when you even decide to breathe. But the idea is to get rid of the fear. The idea is not to get rid of just the virus. I mean, virus can be avoided. The fear is something that we have to go back and do. So with all of this, whoever is hearing me would be like, "Oh wow, his life is so perfect. He's just like he's like where I need to be." No, 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 no. I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. I struggle personally to discipline on some days. I really struggle to basically make that thing done. Um, Within our own house, I've created a spot, because obviously none of us, when we built the house earlier or when whatever we did, we didn't go back and say that, you know what, this is going to be my workspace. That wasn't the concept, but today we are forced into it. So I created a small corner. If I'm in that corner, I'm working, but I have to learn how to not work in the other corners of the work of the house. I have to still learn of how to switch off from that corner and be in the other parts of the house. I'm not very good at it as yet, and I've accepted it. And I think all of it is great the moment you accept, the moment you adapt, and the moment you decide to move on. For me, those are the very, very critical things. I'm almost my time. I want to just say thank you to all the staff across the organizations to make this happen. Um, as human beings, I think we are a very, very powerful being. We haven't crumbled. We are a little slow. We are adapting. And in my language, this is like the OJT phase, which is your on the job training phase at this point of time. And we'll be experts soon. Absolutely. We are humans. We always make the best use of our gray cells only when we are under pressure. And there can't be a better pressure than this. And I promise you, uh, whatever you're doing is working. whatever works for you, just do that. Stay positive, stay calm, stay safe, stay healthy, and I promise you, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. That's me, Ananya.
Thank you, Ajay, for the wonderful message. I think some of the takeaways I took that be aware of the surroundings, and I very rightly speak, especially for the people like us in Mumbai. You hardly stay in your home, and you don't even know what the contours of the home, or what's happening in the family. Or sometimes you take a meal and you didn't even know what you are speaking, what you are eating, and my wife will ask, okay, what's the taste of the okra, or what's the taste of the potato and all. And I said, oh, did I eat potato, or did what did I do? So I will not even have a clue, because I was thinking that I was on a call and all. So now this thing has forced us to be aware of the and very simple pleasures of life, as you mentioned, chai pe charcha, or spending time, or discovering or rediscovering our hobbies, or getting something additional is something really, really makes us see opportunity in adversity, as is the theme of the session. Okay, so now with that, we'll move to our next esteemed speaker, Abhinav Kumar, from the exciting world of Asteria. All of you, some of you will be knowing the Asteria is about robotics, automation, and some of the drones which are flying all around. So over to you, Abhinav. Abhinav heads operations at Asteria, is Vice President Operations, and we are eager to hear his message to the participants. Over to you.
Namaskaram, everybody, and greetings from Asteria. So today, let me first just give a little two, three sentence introduction about Asteria. So we are a drone manufacturer. So we design our own drones, we manufacture them, and the whole lot of software which goes into it, we do the same also. So it's a full stack drones company now. And now about myself. So I'm into aerospace for last 20 years. I have worked on MiG-21, MiG-27, MiG-29, Sukhoi 30, C-130J Hercules, S-92 and Saras aircraft so far. And now I'm working on it, from big to very small thing, small drones, but really exciting. You go shorter and shorter, and then you get more and more out of it. Now, let's talk about today in my whole discussion should be about happiness or beyond. I would request everybody to take part in it if you can. If you don't want, then it's up to you. But better if you flow with me. I would like to take this journey together, not alone. That's what I wanted. So everybody wants to be happy. That's what is everybody says, be happy always. And in this pandemic situation, another thing has come now, be safe. So let's talk about happiness now. So I would rather ask everybody to just take a 30 seconds, close your eyes and then think of your happiest moment of the life so far. Whatever is the happiest moment you have had, you probably did something which is extraordinary, or you met your right partner, or whatever it is. So if you can do that, just try to be in that moment for a while, for 30 seconds, and then just feel your emotions, what is happening to you. So how did it feel to remember the happiest moment? It feels wonderful mostly. Now, on the other side of it, let's do the opposite. And what it is, we have sad moments also in our life. What you feel was the saddest moment of life, let's do it again for 30 seconds. Close your eyes, be into that moment, feel it. How does it feel? From the time when you were really, really sad, which you don't want to even remember. So sad, right? Feeling down? Probably yes. So what does it tell us? When we are happy, we are smiling, blushing. Positivity is flowing through us. When we are sad, cheeks are getting down, heads down, eyes down, shoulders down. What does it mean? We had two situations now, just two situations. One, we think about our past happiness or the happiest moment of our life. Then we think about saddest part of our life. What is getting affected? Just notice what is getting affected. It's you who is getting affected. And in you, who it is? It's your physical being. You are smiling, your face is smiling, you're laughing or you know, rejoicing every moment. But it's you, physical you. When you are sad, who it is? It is again the same thing. Your cheeks are going down, your shoulders are going down. So again, it is affecting your physical being. So, is anything which is physical permanent? Let's think. Whatever is physical is not permanent. Friends, if something is attached to physical, that is also not permanent. It means your happiness is not permanent. Your sadness is not permanent. So once you take birth, before that you are nothing. Nobody knows. You take birth, a 3.5 kg small cute baby, and then somebody does a naming ceremony for you. Otherwise, people would call you Shona baby, cutie pie, Raju, whatever it is. Then you are named. Then you get your first identity. Then what happens? You go to your pre-primary school, then you go to next grade, then probably in your teenage, you go to, you complete your high school, and then you go for intermediate, and then you become whatever you want to become. You become engineer, doctor, lawyer, or whatever professional or businessman. So everywhere there is an identity change. First you are a kid and you are known with your parents' name. Now, next time you are student of that particular school. Then you are employee of this particular institution or company. Then your designation comes in. So everything is changing. And then at last, we die. And then again, it is nothing. So we start from nothing and reach nothing. And this whole drama is from here nothing till here nothing. So if we are not permanent, our physical being is not permanent, then happiness or sadness is also not permanent. So let's let's not talk about sadness. Let's not talk about negative things. Let's talk about happiness. So what next in happiness? So happiness, we say it's not permanent and we don't want to strive for a temporary thing. So the next stage is the state of blissfulness. There are no emotions in it. Emotions, die, happiness, sadness. There are 126 chemical reactions which are happening in our body all the time. We know only 5 or 6, or we could name them: happiness, sadness, bore. So 5, 6 we can name. Otherwise, 126 chemical reactions happening and creating those emotions in between. We want to go beyond it. We want to go into something which is permanent, which we can enjoy. So that state, so that's not emotion, that's a state, that state of blissfulness. What is blissfulness? Now, if I take you to your science days, so everything is energy and mass, or mass means space, equal to mc square. Einstein has given us, it's good for us to sometimes explain this about energy mass relationship. People believe in science, not in spirituality most of the times. So when nothing was there, there was only energy and free space. And now let me introduce to a term, Shiva. I'm not talking about Shiva, who you see, having Trishul in his hands, holding Damru in another hand, having a snake around his neck. No, I'm talking about now pure science. Shi in Sanskrit means energy, and Va in Sanskrit means space. So Shiva is concept of completeness, energy and space, and that is infinite. So, when we were nothing and then we came into physical being and then we became nothing. From where did we come from? So we all belong to a universal consciousness, which is energy and space. Equal to mc square made us, made Earth, made other planets, made everything. Oh, that's big thing. You are, so if you now evaluate yourself who you are part of that infinite, the universal consciousness. So if something is taken away from infinite, what it is it infinite or it is less? You cut infinite into several pieces, it's always infinite. Hence you are. And this sense of oneness to the universe is the state of blissfulness. When nobody can make you happy, nobody can make you, sad, no other emotions, nothing. It's only you. You, the infinite. But is it really achievable? It takes practice. To get out of your identities, that I am Abhinav, I am working here, I was working there. So those identities have to be cut. You have to be you, only you. And then, though it is, difficult task, it seems difficult to achieve, but it's, it's just a four-step process. And you have to work on the first process, next automatically follow. So let me give you those 4 steps. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupam. It tells your actual identity. You are Shiva. You are infinite. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupam. Now the process. Nityoham, Shuddhoham, Buddhoham, Muktoham, Nityoham, Shuddhoham, Buddhoham, Muktoham, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupam. So this is 4-step process. It tells, first process is Nityoham. Nityoham. What it means? Nitya means present. And there is no past, there is no future. Whatever is now. Past has passed, future has never, will never come. So you will always, there been a, in time and space, you would be at a place where there is no past time, there is no future. And where you are above the time dimension. So for you, time doesn't move. Time is stationary, which is present. And what does it mean? It means you are always in present. Whatever is now is the truth. Whatever has happened is a story now. It can't come back. You can't unchange it. You can't undo it. Whatever is in future, you do not know. It would never come. Future never comes, actually. So everything is in present. And what is the benefit of being in present is? Why do we become sad or happy? It's just because we become sad because we think past incidents which has affected us. Oh, my boss misbehaved with me. My wife was not good. My son did not, act as I wanted him to. Or I lost something. This is all, if you analyze your sadness, it's all connected to your past. That person cheated me, so I'm sad. What it means? What I'm doing, I'm not living in present, I'm living in past. And which past? Which has already given you a lot of sadness. So if you do not go back to your past, there is no bad moment in life. Only thing is that you are alive, doing something what you are doing. And what does future bring to us? Future brings anxiety. Kal kya hoga? Whether I would be alive or not. Pandemic तो नहीं हो जाएगा. मुझे तो नहीं लग जाएगा. मेरे घर में सब ठीक रहेंगे. Everybody should be safe. कैसे होगा? Market is going down. Job cut is happening. What would happen to me? So when you do this, you are actually bringing anxiety to you. You are bringing fear. And fear never comes in present. You know what it is. If you are sinking, you know it. But if you start thinking, now I am sitting here, if I start falling down, what would happen to me? Then nothing can be done. It's not happening. You are just thinking, imagining, and bringing that anxiety and fear in you. Fear of unknown. What would happen tomorrow? There is no tomorrow. It's only today. It's only now. So if you reach that stage, you cut all your sadness emotion, you cut all your happiness emotions. And then what happens by this? If you practice this, it takes you automatically to the next stage, which is Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupam, Nityoham, Shuddhoham. So this is Shuddhoham. When you are not thinking of your past, you're not frustrated. You don't have any enmity with anybody. Somebody did this to me, I would give him back. You don't have, you don't have to conspire for success. What would happen tomorrow if somebody wins and goes to, close to my boss and gets the promotion? Then you start conspiring. So neither you are thinking of taking a revenge, nor you are trying to conspire. So you become pure. Yourself become pure. And then you take this pureness, the sense of pureness would take you to the next stage, which is Buddhoham. Buddhoham means it's not Buddh. Don't please confuse it with Gautam Buddha. Buddha is a state of knowingness, awareness. When you know yourself, now you would start realizing, boss, I'm not this what I have been thinking for last so many years. I am now, trying to understand what I am. Now I get enlightened that I'm not a son of somebody, I'm not employee of somebody, I'm not what I am physically. I'm something else. And now you start realizing that you are infinite. You are part of that cosmic consciousness, and infinite you can't divide. You are always infinite. All the characteristics of that infinite consciousness or supreme consciousness are residing in you. You just don't realize because of your fear, greed, frustration, everything else. So this is the third stage. Now if you know what you are, then what you achieve, then you are away from every emotion. Then you reach a stage of Muktoham, where you are free. You are like energy and space. You decide what you want to do. Then it becomes Leela. Then you are above everything. You are above every physical state. You are above every emotion. And that's the state of blissfulness.
Thanks, Abhinav. I think it's a wonderful message. Really, we understood from the consciousness of time and the cycle of time and how to get out of it and then center ourselves, right? So thank you. I think this is very useful. I think all the audience will go to using for this tool. So now we'll move to our master speaker for today and the session facilitator, Mr. Ramesh Krishnan. Ramesh is a computer professional working in the information technology industry for the past 30 years. He is currently a director at the Intel Corporation, responsible for the delivery of silicon new concept PCs, tablets, and smartphones in the market. Ramesh is an active member of the Heartfulness Institute, a non-profit organization that aims to promote a stress-free and balanced living using meditation as a key tool. He has been meditating under this system for the past 25 years. He's a trainer in meditation and a keen proponent of value education for children. He's an avid mridangam player and loves listening to Indian classical music during his spare time. Ramesh has more than 20 years in Canada and the United States and is currently settled in Bangalore with his wife and 3 children. Welcome, Ramesh, and look forward to the exciting session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anindya. Thank you very much for the warm introductions. The esteemed speakers before me, Mr. Ajay Lula and Mr. Abhinav Kumar. I'm really touched by by what you all have shared. It is amazing the amount of depth and the wisdom that is being shared. And I hope, as on behalf of Heartfulness, I will contribute a little bit towards what we all are here for today. I'm really I kind of resonated with everything that Ajay said with regards to the situation in which we're in. and his practical tips of how he's making his life better, which is all the things that is under his control. His control, which is his exercise, his time with the family, the fact that he has accepted the whole thing, the fact that he is taking up his hobbies, and he's trying to make sure that he doesn't give in to the fear. And his honesty was really something that really touched me. So thank you, Ajay. I really appreciated it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Abhinav, I think I was touched. I'm glad that you were in aerospace. Before Intel, I was with the company called Pratt & Whitney for almost 7 years for aircraft engines. So I was in the aerospace industry for a little bit of time. I work for Intel now. So I also work in the corporate industry, which is extremely highly stressful. And you touched upon a very important thing that human beings are really looking for in terms of happiness, and try to not. So when you took me through this exercise, the visualization exercise, one thing that really came to my mind when I was trying to follow your exercise is I was neither happy nor happy for the past 25, 30 years. It's very that's the observation I really felt. And I kind of allude this to the fact, I think, to the process of meditation, because what the meditation does to you is that it takes off the peaks. It neither makes you too happy, it neither makes you too sad. So it brings this sense of calmness that is really, really there, right? And I think then you touched upon this very important topic of this 4-stage process of being in the present, and how we are bliss inside us, and what is the process of being in the present, and the need for shuddhoham, which is cleaning, and the need for the knowledge and stuff like that, which is phenomenal in my opinion. And thank you for sharing this, because a lot of this is very important. It's very relevant right now, right? The question that I really want to take, us in terms of what we want to do now is, let me share something with your permission. So as part of Heartfulness Institute, what we want to do is, whatever Mr. Abhinav has shared in terms of the steps, we want to make it a reality. So we want us to be in the present. We want us to be free from the effect of the past, which creates the fear of the future. Thereby, how to be in the present is the challenge in front of us, right? And I hopefully, through this process of heartfulness meditation, help give you the necessary tools and the techniques to try and see how we can be in the present. Yeah. And the next part that Abhinav really checked upon, if you don't mind me calling you Abhinav, because I think you're fairly my brother, is this notion of shuddhoham, which is the notion of cleaning, right? Which is very, very important. The fact that the past has created, some impressions inside us. The impressions, some of them because of the effect of the past. If there are good events that happened in the past, we've had good impressions. If we've had bad impressions in the past, let's say we've been abused by somebody, and we've been through trauma, we've been in a part of a war, for example, or if we've been in an accident, it has left a bad impressions inside us, which creates fear. So the inherent notion in the heartfulness technique that the only way by which we can remove the effect of the past is by removing the effect of the past. And we have a technique called the rejuvenation technique, or the cleaning technique, which allows us to remove the effect of the past. So we'll touch upon all this. So now the question that we really want to talk about in the first session here which Ajay really alluded to. I want to come back to it. And he said, there's a lot of things in social media that he has taken control over to make sure it doesn't affect him. He has tried to improve the influence around his family, thereby, interacting with his family, being with his family. And then, of course, what he's really tried to do, Ajay, really is, by his practical experience, he's shown us that we are in control, we are in the center, and we can take control of everything that is in control of us. Okay. So this is how, this is what Ajay really has showed us what we need to do, what we ought to do, in any situation in our life, is that we cannot be affected by the concerns. We have to understand that we have to influence the people around us, and we have to take control of everything that we have to take control over. Now, we did talk about this in Heartfulness. We have this notion of this relaxation, rejuvenation, and meditation process, right? And I was touching upon this with Abhinav's example, in this thing of the need for rejuvenation, the need for cleaning, because if you need to be in the present, if you need to be truly in the present, you must not be affected by the events of the past, because the past has a big influence on us, and they need a very, very subtle. So how does it? So let's take a specific example. I'm sure this was explained to you. When you walk, for example, outside your house, and you see a rose, for example, you want to touch you admire the rose. You admire its color, you admire its beauty, you admire its fragrance, you admire its shape. And if you do that over and over and over again every day, and you plant a whole garden full of roses in your house throughout this, you end up liking the color red, or the shape of rose, the texture of rose, the smell of rose. You buy perfumes. The entire industry, entire market operates in that space. So that means that there's an impression that you have laid in the past that red is good or yellow is good, whatever colors that you admire of the flower and the fragrance, and you end up buying perfumes and colors and shirts that associates yourself with that. That is how the past has an influence on the present. Now, this is something that's good, and we don't think too much about it. But what happens if the same thing has been done in the past, where your father or your mother or somebody in your family has been hurtful towards you? Or let us say you've had a traumatic experience in the past. Let us say somebody has told you constantly, if you don't study, you will fail. If you don't study, you will fail. You are not intelligent. Let us say somebody keeps repeating to you over and over again. Some professor, some teacher, some parent, somebody in your life. Now, what this would have created is some negative influence, negative impression inside you, which causes fear every time you approach that specific topic. So in order for you to be free from the effects of the shackles of the past and to be truly in the present, like Mr. Abhinav was truly wanting to do, which we all yearn for, we need to be free from the effect of the past. So here in this heartfulness, we have this technique called rejuvenation, which we do at the end of every day, where we cleanse ourselves, like we do like we take care of our physical body when we take a bath, and we cleanse ourselves, physically. In the mental, in the sukshma sharira, in the subtle body that is there within us, there is a cleansing process that we advocate, which is called the process of rejuvenation. So rejuvenation helps us to get rid of the effects of the past, not the past memory, but the effects of the past. So thereby, you're not influenced by it anymore. And for those past that has happened long time ago, let us say 30, 40 years ago, or past, for example, according to our Hindu Shastras, we have all been reincarnated multiple times, and this is our nth incarnation. So what do we do with that baggage? For that, we offer trainers that will help you to dig deep within you, to give you individual meditation sessions that removes the deeper impressions that you are carrying as an effect from your past. So this is a technique that is available to you. So whatever Mr. Ajay and Mr. Abhinav talked about in terms of how to do, what to do, we in Heartfulness are giving you techniques, and we're giving you a method. We're giving you a system and a community to do along with. So the relaxation and the rejuvenation techniques allows you to be free from the effects of the past so that you can be in the present. Now, how to be in the present is what meditation teaches you. So once you are free from the effect of the past, and you want to be in the present, and you want to experience the bliss that Mr. Abhinav, so lovingly offered to us in terms of the blissful state. And he said that we are infinite and we are part of the universal consciousness. So if you are part of that universal consciousness, there must be bliss inside that universal self that is there within us. True? There must be something that is there which is truly blissful, that is there, that is ever happy, ever content, not affected by anything, untainted. How do we connect ourselves with that? There, once we are free from the past through the process of rejuvenation, by practicing a simple system of meditation, of the heartfulness meditation, when you take the time to center yourself, you are able to go deep within your inner self and connect yourself to that bliss that is there within you, to that infinite consciousness that is there within you, to that Brahman that is within you. You can call it anything you want. You can call it God, you can call it infinite energy, you can call it consciousness, you can call it whatever you want, call it bliss, but you are the one that is going to benefit from that peace that is there within you. So this is what heartfulness meditation has to offer. In terms of how this helps you, in order for you in the practical world, because obviously we all live in the world where we have to perform. So performance, peak performance, is really about completely living in the present, tapping into the maximum potential that I have, and where I remove the effects of my past, and I am not encumbered by my past, and I'm not afraid of the future. Thereby, I'm able to bring out of meditation and out of being in my present, not only blissfulness inside me, I'm able to bring out the best out of me and best out of others that are working with me as well, which leads to peak performance. I think this was covered in the last 2 days. I'm just giving you a little bit of recap so that you know what the effect of relaxation, rejuvenation, and meditation is. This is what it leads to. Okay, so I hope I'm kind of bridging what this is. And there's another concept that I really want to bring to you is the need for sleep. Sleep is a very, very important part of each hour's life. We must take the time to sleep for 7 to 8 hours. During this time, our inner, we have the ability to connect with ourselves at the deepest core of ourselves, basically. So I would urge you all, during this pandemic or at any point in time, if at all you have to compromise, do not compromise on this important thing called sleep. Okay. So the other thing that this was probably brought to you, and I'm kind of going to build on this, is that we have in our life so many stimuluses that are around us, right? And we have to respond to those stimuluses. The pause, the space between the response and the stimulus is what we have control over. And the process of meditation allows us to gain control over that pause, basically. So I want to kind of touch upon this need, the last topic, hopefully from the heartfulness standpoint on the third day, which really talks about how to connect yourself with that deepest core and be in that present that Mr. Abhinav really talked about. So we offer to you a very humble prayer that we really have. And the prayer really talks about, it is very similar to what, Abhinav really spoke about. It really talks about, the goal, which is, oh, master is the master that is there within me, or the bliss that is there within me, or the universal consciousness that is there within me. Thou art the real goal of human life. To connect with that is the real goal of my human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting a bar to our advancement. My wishes, my need for that, my want for this is putting a bar to my advancement. I appeal to my inner universal consciousness, which is infinite, to bring me up to that stage, to help me realize the bliss that is there within me. Now, what I'm really trying to appeal to you is that there is that creator that created us, from which we have all actually originated, has all the answers to everything that we are looking for. So all we need to do is to connect with that inner self, if at all possible at night. When we connect ourselves at night and we offer this prayer, in a very humble way, and seeking for our advancement, you will see that along with the practice of relaxation, rejuvenation, meditation, if you add this, there is going to be an inner intelligence that is there, the inner consciousness or the universal consciousness that is there within you, that will help us, propel us towards the real goal of human life, which is to become blissful. It will help us. So it will complete the overall thing, the relaxation, the rejuvenation, the meditation, and this prayer or this inner connect. When we offer it with a lot of sincerity, we appeal to the higher intelligence, the higher universal consciousness to support us. Thereby, there's nothing that is going to be, there is nothing that will stop us from achieving our goals. Now, all of this needs to be tried. Don't take my word for it. You have to try it. You have to be the experimenter. You have to experiment it. Once you experiment and you feel the benefit out of this, it'll propel you to go, it'll propel you to move forward. Okay, so what next? So in terms of what we need to do is it's compliance. So this thing that Ajay really lovingly brought out, the need for discipline. So we must, it is, if at all we need to make progress, we have all the tools that is there within us, but is the most important tool that is really required is discipline, which Mr. Ajay really brought it out. The need for meditation regularly. So we must allocate, if I want to become that bliss, if I want to connect with that blissfulness state that Mr. Abhinav, lovingly invites us to want to reach, we must set aside some time to be in the present, to center ourselves. So we must set aside some time for meditation, 30 minutes, set an alarm. We must, in order for us to not be encumbered by the effects of the past, which he talked about, which we all have a past, and we're all going to have a past, right? So we must set aside some time, 20 minutes for rejuvenation, for the cleaning, so that we can cleanse ourselves, the good and the bad of the effects of the past. And last but not least, before we go to sleep at night, we must offer to connect, and we must remind ourselves that we are part of this universal consciousness. Connect ourselves with a lot of love, offer the prayer, remind ourselves of the goal, seek the help of the universal consciousness, connect with it, and then go to sleep. So this is what we must do if we need to progress. If we truly want that bliss, if we truly want to be in the present, free from the effect of the past, fear of the future, we should set ourselves, an alarm, be disciplined and move forward. So discipline weighs in ounces, regret weighs in tons, as there's a saying that goes. Okay, so This is all I have in terms of my presentation. I really, I want to take you through a practical session right now. I do want to, take you through a relaxation session, a practical relaxation session. I would like to take you through a practical meditation session through the effect of the heartfulness technique. I want you to try if you can go deeper within that universal consciousness that is there, that can offer the ultimate happiness, the ultimate blissfulness state that Mr. Abhinav actually talked about. So with that, I also want to tell you that if you want to, take it more, take it forward, we are an organization that is spread in 160 countries. There is a website called heartfulness.org. We offer personal trainers that will offer you regular meditation sessions. We have meditation sessions that go on at 7 a.m. universal. All you need to do is sit and connect with the divine light in your heart, and you'll get benefit from this. We also have an app called the Hearts app, which is available on Play Store or Apple Store. If you download it, you will have a personal trainer connect with you and give you an individual meditation session. So all of this is free. We don't charge for this. We offer it such that you can experience the ultimate potential that lies hidden, that is within you. With that, I'm done with my presentation. I would like us to maybe go through a practical exercise of relaxation and meditation. And then if there are any questions at the end for about 5-10 minutes, I can help answer any questions if there are. With that, Anindya, I would like to take the group through a meditation session, with your permission, please.
Yeah, please, sure.
Okay. So with this, to all the viewers, I would like you to, be relaxed. I want you to close your eyes. Let's relax our body and prepare our mind for meditation. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, let go, relax. Now bring the attention to your feet. Wriggle your toes, stretch your feet. Your feet is completely relaxed. Now feel the energy from Mother Earth rising through your feet. Relaxing your entire body. Now gently bring the attention back to your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, all the way up to your knees, your upper legs, all the way up to your hips. Now your hips and both your legs are completely relaxed. Now bring the attention to your abdomen and your chest. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, let go, relax. Now let's relax our arms. Free our arms of all the tension, starting with our fingers, hands, wrists, lower arm, all the way up to our elbows, upper arm, all the way up to our shoulders. Both our arms are completely relaxed. Now gently bring the attention to our back, starting with your lower back. Let go of all the tension in your lower back. The lower back is completely relaxed. Now move upwards to your spine, all the way up to your upper back, your shoulders. Let go of all the tension in your shoulders. Now your back is completely relaxed. Now bring your attention to your neck and your facial muscles. Bring the attention to your face, your chin, your jaws, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, all the way up to your forehead. Relax your temples, relax your ears, relax your head. Now your entire body, from the top of your head till the tip of your toes, is completely relaxed. Now bring the attention of your mind into your mind and prepare your mind for meditation. Keep your mind relaxed. Bring the attention to the heart and put a gentle suggestion that there's divine light in the heart. And you put your attention on the source of the divine light. Keep your mind relaxed. Please start meditation. That's all. Please keep your eyes closed. Feel the condition of your heart. Try to experience the feeling. Connect with that condition. Become one with it. Feel that condition spread throughout your body. Feel it being imbibed by all the cells in your body. This is your state after meditation. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, and that's all. I thank you for participating in the meditation session today. With that, I would like to also thank the Jio team for inviting the Heartfulness Institute to conduct these sessions. You can contact us and you can have individual meditation sessions if you want. We will be glad to offer you and to take your experience a little bit more deeper. With that, over to you, Anindya. And once again, thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh, for the wonderful session. And over the last 3 days, I hope all of you have been able to get at least a few techniques and some thoughts to create a better balance between what we experience and how we want to make our life much more meaningful. And today we looked at the blissfulness, how to be aware of our feelings, how to manage them, and then we did a session on meditation, how to collect our thoughts and be centered. So if you want more details, all the sessions are recorded. You can go to the Jio Heartfulness page, or as Ramesh had mentioned, you can seek out individual trainers. You can download the app. Wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay well, and with that, signing off. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nishit. Thank you, the Heartfulness team, for helping us with this journey. Thank you, all participants.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
Have a nice day.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.